What's going on, guys? My name is Jacob. Welcome back to We Want Picks. This is going to be a full card breakdown for UFC 316 in totality. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, become a premium member at WeWantPicks.com. Only $10 a month. Go check it out if you haven't already. If you're thinking about becoming a premium member, we've got a great lineup coming in the next 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks. The cards this summer are going to be absolutely incredible and all the best tools are at WeWantPicks.com. Only $10 a month. Give us a shot. Give us a chance. If it doesn't work out, it's only $10, but if it does work out, whoo! It could be beautiful for you, could be beautiful for me. We're coming off one of the most ridiculous cards that I've never watched because I didn't watch the card and I blame myself, right? I was at Game 6 in Indianapolis watching my Indiana Pacers absolutely smoke the New York Knicks to go to the NBA Finals. This was the first card I didn't watch live in absolute years. 4, 5, 6 years. I don't know how long it's been. So I blame myself. That's my fault, guys. I don't watch one card, the whole thing goes to absolute fucking shit. But here today, we're going to break down an exciting card. Nice, easy peasy, low key, no cuts. I might stumble over my words. I might pass out in the middle of this. I might forget what I'm saying. I don't know what's going to happen in this breakdown. But what I do know is I'm going to break down every single fight. So like the video right now if you haven't already. Because I don't, some weeks I don't do these. But if you're liking this video, maybe we make this a weekly thing, right? Low key with the salamander, breaking down every single fight. Let's get right into the action. The first fight of the night is going to be Khaos Williams against the retard, Andreas Gustafsson. Now, those are his words, not mine. He said he's going to fight like a retard last fight. And I was all about this retard coming into that Trevin Giles fight. Feeling good about it because Trevin isn't really a dangerous guy. He's got a nice jab, but if you get inside, I don't think he's going to have a whole lot to offer. Khaos Williams, historically, until his last fight, has pretty good takedown defense. Even when he was taken down against Bonfim a couple times, got right back to his feet. He knows what he's doing. He's strong from the bottom. And I like that coming into this fight. He's going to have the power waiting for those weird, nonsensical blitzes from Andreas because he's not setting it up, right? With footwork, right? Setting up the jab, the level change, feinting. He's just coming forward. He's a DDP style. Just blitzing forward. Juliana Pena style, who will break down later. Just going to get in your face. And it feels like Khaos should be there with the power. What I don't love about Khaos, which could be his downfall, is when he's throwing strikes, oh boys, he's throwing strikes. He is coming looping shots, and I hate that he does not bring his feet with him. A lot of stuff is lunging over that front leg, lunging over that front foot. And Andreas can just calm himself, the relentless retard. If he could just calm himself and wait for those big shots, those level changes should be there, right? And I was real close to picking Andreas in this fight, and there's no way I'm taking Khaos at minus 200. He might flatline this guy. I don't know. But the way that he's throwing strikes against a guy that can just kind of be relentless in there like an Andreas, I'm going to stay off it. My pick for this fight is going to be Khaos. The power should be there. He's got good takedown defense despite what happens. Andreas isn't really a submission threat. So even if Khaos does get taken down, I believe he's going to be able to get back to his feet. And on the cage, he's pretty strong. Khaos is pretty strong, ripping that underhook, circling out. Give me Khaos in this first fight. No bet for me. What's the next fight? Marquel Mederos versus Choinski. Choinski, you're going to see 3-time All-American wrestler, right? This got Angelo texting me like crazy. Angelo sent me a picture of him jerking off to a picture of Choinski. Oh, video, right? Oh, 3-time All-American. Division 3 in Oshkosh, by the way. Tyrese Halliburton, Oshkosh. Maybe there's a sign here. Marquel, last week pulled out of the fight. Sickness, little stomach bug. I reached out to somebody that knows Marquel. I said, how's he doing? He said he's good to go. Little stomach bug, but he's fine, which makes me feel better. And I actually placed a bet on Marquel in this fight because although Mark is a 3-time All-American at D3 wrestling, I watch his fights. I saw him against Ricky Simone's brother. I think he got 3 takedowns in that fight. One was off Ricky, like just kind of like felt like tried to shoot his own takedown and then just kind of fell backwards. I'm talking about Ricky's brother. Junior Simone. I don't know what his name is. Another one was on a guillotine attempt. He got blast doubled himself. Marquel has seen wrestlers at the level of Mark, right? He was at Factory X forever with Youssef and Isaac, all those guys, the big time wrestlers. Now he's in Arizona, I believe. I know he was taken down against Austin Hubbard, but got back to his feet, dogged that shit out. Remember, that fight was at Elevation, Mexico City. He still found a way to dog that shit out. Marquel is a talented kid. Got to be way better on the feet. The striking of Mark is just not on the UFC level, and I don't think the wrestling is going to be enough against Marquel. Now, Mark could come in and out-wrestle a lot of people at 155, probably like the lower level people, but Marquel is not a low level wrestler. If he does get taken down, he knows how to get back to his feet. He's got wrestling on his own, but his striking advantage is going to be very, very high in this fight. We could find a finish from Marquel. It's kind of eluded him, but against Mark, it could be there. Marquel is going to be my pick for this fight. What do we got next? Quillan Salkilld, huh? Versus the Red Fox, is that his name? Yanal? Listen, I'm not real sold on this guy, Quillan. Yeah, I picked, okay, let's get, elephant in the room. I picked Anshul Jubilee to beat Quillan. Whoops. That's on me. Early stoppage, no doubt about that, but that's on me for the pick. This guy, Quillan, if you get in his face, is not the best boxer in the world. You saw that in his Contender Series fight. Was pressed against the fence and had to wrestle out of those situations. I don't think if that happens, he's going to be able to wrestle out of the situations versus Yanal. But the good news for Quillan is bigger octagon, which is good for his style, right? Because he likes the space. He likes to throw those heavy kicks, mix in wrestling on his own that you didn't really see in the Anshul fight. But Quillan does like to wrestle. He got 9 takedowns. It's the reason he won his Contender Series fight is with the wrestling, not with the striking. But the good news is Yanal is not a pressure fighter. He is a backup, pull you into the power, right? You saw that versus Trevor Peek. Back up, throw the big shots, or back up, wait for the big shot, and then level change underneath it. I don't believe Yanal is going to be able to wrestle Quillan, and that backup and wait style, if he brings that into the fight, is going to be his downfall. Because Quillan, with the pressure, is going to be able to use his length, use those big, powerful kicks, mix in some of the boxing, although he's a little bit lackluster. But if Yanal comes in and just gets in this guy, presses, closes that space, gets him against the fence, watch that Contender Series fight of Quillan just eating shots, chin up in the air. And if Yanal's landing, he could put this guy out. So I'm not sold on Quillan, but this should be an okay matchup for him. I know Yanal's got power, but he shouldn't be the pressure fighter. Whoever is pressing forward in this fight is going to win this fight. You're going to know in the first minute who's going to win this fight. If Quillan is backed up against the fence, Yanal's probably going to knock him out. If Yanal's playing that backup counter-strike game, he might get knocked out with the hands low and the kicks of Quillan. I'm going Quillan, but I'm not sold on him against some other people. Against Yanal and his style, he should be okay. Non-bet for me, but I'm going Quillan in this one. What do we got next? Azamat Murzakanov versus Brendson Ribeiro. I put it on Twitter, and I'm being dead serious when I say this. Azamat Murzakanov is the light heavyweight version of Conor McGregor, and I'll fucking say it again. Azamat Murzakanov is the light heavyweight version of a prime Conor McGregor. This guy does not fight like a light heavyweight. Does not fight like a Russian. Does not fight like his body type. It's like black magic. It is, I have no idea how he is moving in there. His footwork is so fluid. His hand speed, the precision, the power, it's absolutely incredible. And although he does, and you're going to hear it probably a lot in this fight, a 10-inch reach disadvantage, he's a shorter guy, how is he going to close the distance? It's with the footwork. And you're going to see that immediately. That's how he is able to close the distance on these taller, longer, light heavyweights, right? Against a guy like Dustin Jacoby. Yeah. Just like a prime Conor McGregor, if this gets out of the first round, out of a round and a half, out of the second round, he will start fading, right? He's not going to fade and quit and all that stuff, but he will start slowing down. I don't think it's going to get there, though, because this guy, Brendson Ribeiro, although has kind of cleaned up his fighting style and been a little bit more patient lately, I think against Azamat's going to be in his face. That footwork, pop, pop, pop. Get inside, the big shots, nice snappy jab, the southpaw, snipe with that left hand. I think this is going to be the downfall of Brendson Ribeiro. A big knockout for Azamat early. He's going to be my pick, and you guys are probably going to be really surprised. It seems like everyone that fights him is surprised with how fast this guy is, and speed is power. And you're going to see that. You're going to see the footwork, the speed, the power, the jab with the left hand follow, and you're going to be like, holy shit, Jacob was right. This guy's like Conor fucking McGregor. Give me Azamat in this fight. What do we got next? Ju Sang Yo versus Jeka. My sweet Jeka. My sweet baby Jeka. Former lock of the week Jeka. I like Jeka. As a person, he's a fun fighter. He's a wild guy. You saw it against Weston, right? Just comes in, just fucking crazy. Just balls to the fucking wall, trying to knock this guy out, ends up getting submitted. Not real fight IQ, right? Not real high IQ fighter. He's got fucking power. And if he comes in and Ju Sang Yo gets a little bit too aggressive, he also, honestly, fights like Conor as well. We kind of got back-to-back Conor McGregors on this card. Light heavyweight version, and then the featherweight version, Ju Sang Yo. I mean, he is very poised. He can do a little bit of everything. Definitely a better striker than he is grappler. Also a dog. You saw in one of his fights, was getting taken down late, was reversing those positions. Again, I do all this with no notes. You guys watch Angelo's video. He's like this. We got two strikers here. Blah, blah, blah. It's coming off a 5. It's 5-1 in his last 6 fights. I mean, this dude just fucking... I got nothing. Top of the head, everything. Ju Sang Yo is going to be the better striker, but if he comes in and gets a little bit too aggressive chasing a guy like Jeka, Jeka's got... I mean, he's got fucking concrete hands. He can knock anybody out. And you saw that against Lucas Alamanda. Lucas Alamanda got a little bit crazy, got a little bit lazy defensively, leaving the situation, and Jeka was able to find him. Jeka can knock anybody out. So if he comes in and finds a knockout, I'm not going to be crazy surprised. But you can't just chase stuff like that hoping for a knockout. If you want to play it as a hedge, if you got Ju Sang Yo in a bunch of parlays, you want to play a Jeka KO as a hedge, I get that. But Ju Sang Yo, it should be, he is the better. I'm not going to say he should be. He is the better fighter. Way more technical, can do everything. This is the year of the undefeated is going down, but he is the better fighter here. Jeka just... decision making is not there, but a fun fighter, heavy hands. I got to go Ju Sang Yo. He is the better fighter. And it pretty much just comes down to that. That's why he's such a big favorite, and I agree with the odds. Next, we got Serghei Spivac versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. I've been back and forth on Waldo. I've had a little Twitter beef with Waldo at times years ago. I'm in a movie with Waldo, The Burden of 9 Lives. If you guys want to check that out on Amazon, me and Angela were in that movie. Waldo is in that movie. This one's going to be interesting. Serghei Spivac came in and started manhandling Jailton Almeida. You would think that he's going to come in and do that against Waldo Cortes-Acosta. But I'm not sure. I do worry about Waldo tends to throw that big right hand, and when he misses, he will go into the clinch. You see that a lot with heavyweights, right? They throw big, and then their big fucking momentum just carries them into the other person, and then they just clinch a little bit, and then they'll separate or do whatever they do. The amount of times that Waldo clinches in fights after he throws big shots could be a fucking problem here, because Serghei Spivac is a guy that excels not necessarily in the wrestling of like shooting singles or shooting doubles like a Jailton Almeida. This guy loves the fucking judo. He loves the body locks. He loves the hugs and the throws and the trips. You saw that with the whistler kick against Jailton. The first time they grabbed each other, boom, tosses him. And if he tosses Waldo, he's probably going to have success. If you're having success on the ground versus Jailton, Waldo is probably going to have some issues. But I think Waldo is going to be, and I think Angelo actually stole this from me because he mentioned a text I sent him about Waldo being an athlete. This guy is an athlete, former Major League Baseball pitcher. I think the athleticism here is going to be enough to keep Waldo safe, to get back to the feet, and he is capable of knocking people out on the feet. He's got nice uppercuts that he can show Spivac, and we've seen Spivac on the feet be an absolute liability if he can't get the takedown. So I think the bigger cage is going to help Waldo. The nice boxing of Waldo, he keeps everything nice and tight. He will kind of wing that big right hand at times, but a lot of stuff, that nice jab he can keep in there, keep Serghei at space, and once he starts wearing him down, I think he can hurt a guy like Serghei Spivac. So I'm going Waldo here as an underdog play, slight underdog, Don't absolutely love it, but Serghei just, I mean, Waldo's going to be the way better striker, and he's kind of got to really get close and grab Waldo. As long as Waldo's not crashing in with the big right hand on his own and get taken down, keep that space, be boring, stay outside with a jab, you should be fine. I'll take Waldo in this one. Next one, we got Wang versus Ariane, former Lipski. And we have a underdog Brazilian female. And I know in my Lock of the Week video last week, I made a promise to everybody out here in the YouTube sphere that I was not going to make a female Lock of the Week ever again. Oh boy, was it hard not to do that for Ariane Lipski. Thank God she's fucking married. I gotta go Wang. It wasn't really that hard. Wang, I was against her. I picked against her. I had Gabby by submission in that fight. Absolutely hit, absolutely smoked Wang. Since then, since she's been humbled, you can tell she's definitely a lot more dialed in. She was in that Bruno Brazil fight. And Ariane Lipski is basically just a little bit better version than Bruno Brazil. A little bit more dangerous, should be a little bit more active, shouldn't freeze in that moment. But I thought Bruno was going to have some success against Wang, but you could tell she was definitely frozen because of the speed and power of Wang. She did not want to get caught with those counter strikes. And unfortunately, it feels like the fearless style of Ariane Lipski could lead to her downfall, because I don't think she's going to be as scared in these exchanges as Bruno Brazil, and that could lead to her downfall. Because Wang, as much as I hate her and I thought she was a fraud, she's kind of locked in, and she does have some fucking power. I'm going Wang. She's the better striker. I don't think the takedown's going to be there for Ariane Lipski. If she can get them, great. I'm going Wang. I'm not betting it because there's no way I'm betting against a Brazilian. But if you're playing Wang, I fucking get it. She's my pick. Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van is very interesting. I've been a Joshua Van hater for a long time, but I've started to come back around. What is this? -500. Let me check the odds right now. Since we're doing this nice, cool, calm, and casual, Waldo just went to +122. Joshua Van -550 against a guy like Bruno Silva. This guy, Bruno Silva, is a fucking pit bull, man. He hits like a truck. He's got wild submissions. He's fucking durable as shit. He was getting the fucking cunt shit beat out of him by Cody Durden and still found that knockout in that fight, which is pretty much how I thought that fight was going to go, right? You can have success against Bruno Silva. You can land on Bruno Silva, and then all of a sudden, he just stays around, and he lands that big shot. Now, Manel Kape was styling on this guy. Fucking styling on this guy, but he was still hanging around. And if you watch some of those exchanges before he got knocked out, he was throwing some fucking shit because this guy Bruno Silva doesn't give a fuck. And that knockout was a nut shot that led to a TKO. And that was the first time he's been finished in a long, long time. I already played Bruno Silva inside the distance decision, no action, because Joshua Van isn't the most dangerous guy in the world. He's been chinned before. He got hurt by Edgar Chairez. He starts slow in fights, and if he's trying to play catch up in the second and third round and entering these exchanges with Bruno Silva, it could be fucking problems. Now, don't get it twisted. Joshua Van is the better, probably, overall fighter. He should be able to be a little bit faster, pick him apart, look like not quite as what Manel Kape did in that fight, but Joshua Van should be able to pick apart a guy like Bruno Silva, withstand the wrestling. But that power is always there for Bruno Silva. That the durability is going to be there, in my opinion, versus a Joshua Van, and things could get interesting. If Bruno gets a real aggressive and they start fucking throwing down and Joshua thinks he can go toe-to-toe with this guy, he is fucking mistaken. So I'm staying away from Joshua Van this week as a -550. I respect this guy Bruno Silva way, way too much. I know he just got styled on by Manel Kape, but Manel Kape is fucking really good. I've been a Manel Kape hater as well, but Manel Kape is really fucking good. My action is on Bruno Silva inside the decision action. If he catches Van, I get that +300. If he loses the decision, I get my money back. I like that value. Next, we got Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix, please, man. God, please do what you're supposed to do. Please do what you're supposed to do. And he's my pick. Right, I was all over Jose Aldo to beat Mario Batista because I said he can't hang with Jose on the feet, and he can't take this guy down, and he hugged to a win. The good news is for Apache mixed bettors, which I know there's going to be a lot of them this week, minus 170 seems like a gift from the gods, from a dangerous grappler. The good news is Mario Batista, in theory, is not going to be able to hug this guy to a win, because Patchy Mix, if you guys don't know, will threaten anything from anywhere. If you get anywhere close to this guy, he is jumping on your neck. He is scrambling to your back. He is doing everything he can to smoke you on the ground and find a submission win. He's okay on the feet. He can do enough on the feet, in my opinion, especially against a guy who's not crazy dangerous like Mario Batista. It's going to come down to the scrambles. But what I love the most against with Patchy Mix and betting Patchy Mix and picking Patchy Mix is against Magomed. He already beat that guy once with the guillotine. So obviously when Magomed was coming in with those takedowns, he was chasing that guillotine again. But in that fight, which was a close fight, split decision, whatever it was, 5 rounds, when he was trying to get those guillotines, when he wasn't getting the guillotines, he was scrambling back to his feet, and you love to see that. He wasn't just threatening the guillotine and then playing the guard game and trying to do the scrambles. It was a guillotine. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Okay, I'm not going to get it. Let it go. Boom. Hips are out. Hip escape. Back to the feet. Let's go again. And against Mario Batista, that's what you have to be. If he does get you to the ground, you don't play the bullshit. You threaten the submission. You get back to the feet. Wait for him to shoot again. Threaten another submission. Patchy Mix is just way too dangerous. He's not going to stall against a fence, right? You're not going to see Patchy Mix just on the fence with the legs split, you know, fucking sitting like this, like Aldo looking at the ref, right? He's going to be reaching over. He's going to be threatening. Maybe we get a fucking ninja choke in there. I like Patchy Mix. For the love of God, please, let's end this Mario Batista train. Next fight, Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. I don't know, man. You know, it's Kevin Holland. I'm going to pick Kevin Holland, right? Because at 170, he seems a little bit more dialed in. That fight against Gunnar Nelson, he basically had a first-round finish. If there's 5 or 10 seconds left in the first round, that's a first-round KO by Kevin Holland. Was doing enough in the submission game. He ended up winning that fight. Vicente Luque has been knocked out. We've seen him basically almost quit in a fight. That fight against Temba, it's like, you know, I actually thought that these odds would be a little bit closer. I agree with these odds. You know, Kevin Holland minus 230, minus 250, something like that, because he should be able to survive on the ground if he does get taken down at 170. He's not getting taken down left and right, although Gunnar did it a little bit more than I thought he was going to. And on the feet, Kevin should be the longer, rangier, more powerful striker. I'm going Kevin Holland, but you people out there that are still betting Kevin Holland fights like you know what the fuck is going to happen, that's a fucking crapshoot. I don't know what you're doing. I understand for fun or whatever, but laying money on minus 230 and you have no idea what Kevin Holland is going to show up, I'm not fucking doing it anymore. God bless you if you are. He is going to be my pick, but I can't trust the guy. I don't know how anybody trusts him with this money anymore. I'm fucking done with that train. Next fight, the featured on the main card, Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer is a fucking piece of shit, dude. This guy's a fucking piece of shit. You heard how he talked about my Mexican amigos, my hermanos, right? My brothers and my sisters. Fuck that guy. Then he came in with an interview with Ariel and said, just talked at both sides of his fucking neck. This guy's talking about, I feel like I've been real respectful for Kelvin this fight. I've been real respectful of her. And then he's like, yeah, I think the UFC gave me, this is kind of a layup fight. This is, I've been picturing his fat fucking face in my, it's like, dude, shut up. Listen, Joe Pyfer probably wins. He should win this fight. He's a big motherfucker against a guy that probably should be at 155 and age. I mean, Kelvin's not even that, but we know who Kelvin is, right? Super talented, but just can't really put it together, all this stuff, right? I'm picking Kelvin. There's no way. I'm not going to pick Joe Pyfer in any fucking fight the rest of his fucking career. I think the guy's an arrogant, insecure fucking asshole, right? He's talking about... He was like the king of the fucking world. Be Joe Pyfer. I'm the fucking man. I'm coming in and I'm winning. And then he loses the fight. And then he's like, people were so mean. People were so mean. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. I can't fucking stand this guy. I'm taking Kelvin Gastelum. I hope he upsets this guy. Joe probably wins. I'm never picking or betting that guy in my fucking life. Co-main event. Juliana Pena versus Kayla fucking Harrison. Kayla Harrison has never made 135 on the dot. I assume she's probably going to. Is probably going to kill herself doing it. Has never fought 5 rounds at 135. You're going to see 5-round fights on her career. Those were at 155. I think one of them were at 150, right? She's lost one of those fights. Was the Aspen lad 5 rounds? I don't know if the fuck it was, but we have Aspen lad on the back of this girl, Kayla Harrison. I know one thing's for certain. Kayla Harrison is the better fighter. She is an Olympic gold medalist. I'm not going to argue the fact that Kayla should win this fight. She's fucking minus 600. She should win this fight. I have been a Juliana Pena hater. I was all over Rocky Pennington to absolutely smoke this girl. I watched that fight and I said, oh my God, Rocky did it. I had bets on Rocky and I'm like, Juliana Pena is not, she doesn't do anything well. Rocky can box, she can grab, she can do all this bullshit. She's going to win the fight. I watched the fight and I thought Rocky won that fight. The reason I say all that is because I don't think Juliana Pena is a good striker. I don't think she's a good wrestler. I don't think she's a good grappler. But what I do know is she's a fucking dog. She is a fucking dog. An absolute fucking dog. And this matchup, I think that's all it's going to take. Because do you see Kayla Harrison throwing Juliana Pena to the ground and TKOing or submitting Juliana Pena? I don't. I believe that Juliana Pena can survive that early 5 minutes, that early 7.5 minutes, the early 8 minutes, the early 9 minutes. Yeah, Kayla Harrison's probably going to come across, grab her, and toss her to the ground. But I don't think she's going to be elbowing her in the face to the point where Juliana is going to be bloodied and the fight's going to stop. I definitely don't think she's going to be climbing the back of a girl like Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena is good enough on the ground and tough enough on the ground to just withstand all that shit early in the fight. Kayla is the better fighter, but durability and toughness is a lot when it comes to MMA, especially in women's MMA. How many times have we sat here and just seen the tougher female win fights time after time and time after time again? This seems like the perfect matchup in an underdog spot for a girl like Juliana Pena, who, remember, is the fucking champion. She is the champion. Whether you like it or not, I don't think she's the deserving champion. I don't think she won the belt. She is the champion. Kayla Harrison is not going to lay on Juliana Pena for 25 minutes. In my opinion, she's got 7.5 minutes to win this fight. And maybe she does. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm telling you right now, if this gets past a round and a half, especially if this gets out of the second round, you're going to see that weight cut. You're going to see the way that Juliana Pena is making her work everywhere. I told you guys that Jack Della Maddalena will make Bilal work in all those takedown attempts. Now, there wasn't as many as I thought there was going to be, right? But it's the same type of mentality. When you make people work, they start to panic. And there is no backup plan for Kayla Harrison. Let me say that again. If she starts gassing and she cannot get close the distance for those judo takedowns to lay on somebody, there is no backup plan. And we've seen Juliana Pena, when she sees that you're tired, when she sees that you're slowing down, she is a fucking dog. And there's going to be a lot of Kayla betters with parlays and all this stuff. And this gets out of the second round and she grabs this girl and all of a sudden falls off. If Juliana Pena ends up on top of this girl at any moment, Kayla's going to fucking lose this fight. And I believe that Juliana Pena, in my heart of hearts, will be able to survive all the early whatever. And that 135 cut and the lack of 135 5-round experience is going to come into play. And Juliana Pena is going to win this fight. And I bet her a month ago. And I can't wait for it to happen. I'm not even a fan of hers. But how many times have I sat here and told you guys that I hate this person, I can't stand this person, but it's a great matchup for him. And I've made thousands of dollars betting somebody that I can't stand in matchups that I like for them. Juliana Pena is going to be another one. Main event time. Sean O'Malley versus Merab. Oh boy. Sean O'Malley was my lock of the week last time they fought. Looked like a shell of himself. I don't know what the fuck that Sean O'Malley was. And maybe that's just the way Merab is able to fight people, right? The threat of the takedowns, the threat of the nonstop pressure. You're trying to pace yourself because you don't know when he's going to turn up the heat. In that fight, he never really turned up the heat. There was never crazy pressure. It was a great game plan. Great game plan from Merab, because instead of crazy pressure, right? And I talked about this after the fight. Sean O'Malley was ready to defend takedowns along the fence. He expected to be backed up by Merab. The shots would come, split the legs, dig the underhook, get back to space. He was ready for those takedowns. But what did Merab do? Beautiful game plan. Took his time, was backing up, was pulling Sean into him, and Sean was like, holy shit, what is going on here? He was the one moving forward in most of those rounds, which set up the takedowns for Merab, because instead of the takedowns against the fence, he was able to shoot blast doubles, the singles, he had the space to drive O'Malley into those takedowns. The game plan should, in my opinion, for Merab this time, is turn into old Merab. Be 20, 30 takedowns and just bury this guy, because I don't think that if Merab brings in the typical Merab pace, Sean is going to be able to hold up to that, right? It's like the Pacers versus the Knicks. It's the Pacers versus anybody, right? You just blitz them and blitz them and blitz them and eventually wear them down. If I was Merab, I would bring in that game plan, the old school Merab game plan. But now we've got a conky, confident Merab. We got a guy that just kind of dances around, who's found some success in the boxing, in the striking, feeling good about himself, talking about like he's Bilal this week. I'm going to strike the guy. He didn't say he's not going to shoot takedowns, but he said, I'm going to knock out Sean O'Malley. We got a Sean O'Malley who seems a little bit more dialed in. No social media, no weed, no pornography, right? No homosexual tendencies, right? The lighting is going to be just fine in this arena. And if I'm not sticking to my guns now, what kind of man am I? Sean O'Malley was my lock of the week against Merab 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it was. And if you rewatch that fight, and you're going to write a comment after I say this, wow, clown, right? You're already foaming, because you know what's coming, right? You're already foaming. You got the keyboard out, and you've already probably got it typed out, ready to hit send, but I don't give a fuck. I'll say it right now. If you rewatch that fight, first of all, there was only one person that almost finished that fight. That was Sean O'Malley. You rewatch that fight, you watch it round by round, that fight comes down to the first round, right? And you can argue whatever you want. Sean won the 5th round, and Sean, I think, won the 3rd or 4th round. Not super clear. Obviously, the 5th round was pretty clear, but the other round, it seemed like he won the round. That fight came down to the first round. And if you watch that first round, that's a pretty close round. Not a lot happened, right? I'm not saying it was a clear Sean win for that round, but that's a close round. There's an argument you could score that round for Sean. You score that round for Sean, he wins a fight. And that was a pretty shitty Sean O'Malley. So all this talk about he's got to knock out Merab or he's not going to win a decision, I kind of disagree with that. He dances around, he points, defends some takedowns. Merab's looking desperate. Things get interesting. I am a man, and I will stick to my guns almost always. I will admit when I'm wrong sometimes, and a lot of times we flip picks and we've made a lot of money doing it. DDP, Bilal, Aaron Blanchfield, all this stuff. When it's time to flip, I'll flip. And when I'm flipping, we're making money. There's no doubt about that. We're not flipping this time. Sean O'Malley's going to get it done. I don't know if he's going to knock this guy out. I hope he does. He's going to be more dialed in. He's going to be ready. He's going to sit on shots a little bit more, not be worried about the takedowns. Merab with all this new confidence. He's going to fuck around and find out. Sean O'Malley's going to win this fight. If you guys enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you are new. Tune in Tuesday for me to argue with Angelo about all his nonsense. Lock in for Lock of the Week this week because I got something real special for you. We'll probably be live for the live stream Saturday night. Feeling good about it. Making millions once again. My name is Jacob, a.k.a. the Freckle Salad Man. I'm out. Peace.